Hello and welcome to the Northland. Today's video I'm going to do something that a lot of guys do, I guess. I've had the car for a year, the Judge for a year, so I'm going to go over the things I like and the things I don't like. I'm going to go from front to back, and I'll list first. I guess I'll list my dislikes, and then we'll go with the likes, and I'll just point out whatever mods I've made, and we'll go from there. So I guess nothing too fascinating, but you know, and any of you that own Mustangs, you probably know all about these. But I am going to probably list some things that you don't see in most videos when guys and girls, for that matter, list their likes and don't likes. I'm gonna kind of dive into this head first, and like I said, I hope to point out some things that maybe you didn't think of, or maybe that you haven't heard of before. So with no further ado, let's begin. Okay, so like most guys, I'm gonna ding the or gig the prop rod here. I think on a car of this magnitude, the prop rod ought to be eliminated, and I think they should go to hood struts, which was probably I want to say as my first modification. And I get why they're doing it, to save a few bucks. A friend of mine had mentioned that I think it's a documentary called A Faster Horse. Not sure if you can. I think you can find it on Amazon, maybe Netflix, I don't know. But you know, they talk about, well, you know, if it's increasing the cost, you know, if a part is $1, that's fine. But when you're talking about, you know, 10,000 parts over in 10 million units or whatever, cost adds up. So I mean, I get it why they're doing it, but what I think would be a better deal would be that maybe on the stock, you know, the base model, on the base model, have it come with a prop rod, but maybe once you upgrade to a performance package, lose the prop rod and put the hood struts in. So that's my first major gig. My second one is, you know, a lot of guys, a lot of guys and girls will complain about that stupid aircraft carrier size plastic engine cover. Obviously I removed mine. I was kind of on the fence at first, and left it on for a while, but it really is a good looking engine, I think, and I think it should be seen. So I think Ford should lose the engine cover, and then the money that they would save by not producing those, they can use for the hood struts. So that's number two. My number three ding is this. Let's see if I can show it. Engine oil dipstick. Now, I don't have the biggest hands in the world, but I cannot get my hands in there without burning myself. And if you got big mitts, forget it. You better check the engine oil when it's cold, because it's not fun. And I honestly don't know why that could not have been extended higher, so that it would have been easier to get. I can't imagine that would cost that much more, probably pennies, and would make life a lot easier for either people who are doing oil changes or owners themselves. And let's see. Oh, the other ding for me was, now I added a catch can. I think any car, I guess it really shouldn't be a ding. Let's just call that a neutral point. I think any car similar to this, if it's whether it's a Camaro, a Challenger, a Charger, a BMW, a Porsche, I think that should be standard. And again, I know it's a cost. The cost will come up. But again, maybe at the base model you don't put it in, and as soon as you upgrade to a performance package, that would be included. That way, only people who are willing to pay the extra money, are going to be doing that. So, I wished I had done it a little sooner, but I was still able to do it within the first 5,000 miles of the car. So, I'm satisfied with that. And as far as under the hood goes, I think this is my last ding, is these heat extractors. Okay. Yes, they are functional. There's two of them, one on each side of the hood. But they are so small that I don't know that they really do any good. I can't prove it or disprove it. I didn't do any testing, so it's not like, I mean, it just, if you, I can't probably get the camera in there, but you can see there's light showing through. There's just not very many holes there. Now, I think this is only inherent to the GT. Obviously, the Shelby 350 and the 500 have a much better design. And that's what I will be going. I'm going to, at some point here in the near future, I plan to put on the GT500 hood. And we'll get some more of this heat out of the engine. Which kind of also brings us back to that engine cover. I mean, wouldn't you think that plastic engine cover would help keep heat in? So this way hopefully some of that heat can escape a little bit better without that cover. And like I said, we'll upgrade the hood, and hopefully we can get some more heat out of here even yet. So I think that's about it for my dislikes. Now for some of the things I like, I really like this strut tower brace. I think it looks good. It's classy. It looks like it's made to fit the car. Whether or not it actually works as designed, I can't say one way or the other. I have yet to take the car to the track. But I mean, what the hell, it looks good, and it seems like it should work, so we're gonna just go with that. But I've seen some aftermarket ones that don't look anywhere near as good as the factory deal. They just kind of look cheap and whatever, but it looks good, and it's actually quite heavy, so you have to take it off in order to get the engine cover off. So it's a pretty good piece of metal there. Some of the other things I really like now, again, styling can be subjective, but I really like the front end of these cars. I just think it looks mean, it looks aggressive. I like that. I like the spoiler, or I'm sorry, the splitter. I wish that it would come out, and please don't mind, the car is dirty. It hasn't been washed in a few days, so I wish it would come out a little bit more, but I think it looks good, so I'm not gonna complain about that. And I love these headlights. I think LEDs would be a little bit better, but I love the design and the style of those. I think this is pretty nice. The other thing I like is this battery cover. I think it looks better having the battery under something. I think the battery, I mean, how sexy can you make a battery look, right? The only thing I kind of don't like, I'm not going to zonk it, but there's pins that go in here, right, to hold this piece in. And the first time I took them off to put it on the charger last fall, I broke one of them, and I thought, it's just kind of a pain in the butt to put them on, take them off every time I wanted to start the car or whatever. So now I just don't even put them in. It's just set here, and this is easily removed. But I think it looks good. It covers up the battery, makes everything look kind of cleaned up a little bit. So so that's not a bad thing. Now, as far as the side of the car goes, I put in a Steeda lowering, 1-inch lowering kit. And there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with the initial ride height, but I do like the fact that it's kind of sucked down a little bit more. I can't tell you whether whether it really improves the handling or not. As far as ride quality goes, I really don't notice a difference. because it does have MagneRide, and it was pretty stiff to begin with. So I don't really know that it changed much. It also does have the Stop the Hop kit in, so and I like the styling of these rims. Again, I know style can be subjective, but I think overall, I think it looks pretty good. The brakes are amazing. I love the brakes. I mean, you want to stop, this car will stop on a dime. I did some, you know, it has a what is it, a G meter or whatever to check your braking, and I did do that. I think it was last fall. I don't remember now what the numbers were, but they definitely worked well. So now I think we're going to go to the inside of the car. The one other thing, I'm not going to crawl under the car and video that part, but the one other gig I have, I guess, is that suitcase style resonator that they put under the car, that kind of quiets things down. I know not everybody will take it out, but I would be surprised if it was less than 50% of owners that leave it in. Again, that was one of the first things. I think I did that within my first 3 or 4 months of owning the car. Took the resonator out and put in a Roush Racing X pipe. So I know there's some debate between X pipe and H pipe, kind of personal preference. I know the X pipe is a little raspier. The H pipe is a little bit throatier and a little bit more muscle car sound. But I saw an interesting video, I think it was on Steeda's website, H pipe versus X pipe, and the X pipe actually was able to increase horsepower. I think it was, don't quote me on this, I want to say it was 8 horsepower increase just by doing that. So and that may not seem like a big deal, but if you're in a competition, whether you're taking it to the track, you know, every little bit helps. And if I can get an 8 horsepower gain over my competition, I'm going to take it. So that resonator is a gig. Besides, if you take that out, you lose like 60 pounds. Who wouldn't like to lose 60 pounds, right? All right, let's move on to the next subject. Okay, now for the zonks inside the car. I know a lot of people will complain about these lights, and they'll upgrade those to LEDs or whatever. The glove box, the one in the trunk, and there's, I don't know if there's any, the tail light or the license plate lights. To me, they're not a big deal. I mean, I wish they were LEDs. I wish they were a little bit brighter, but that's not high on my list to change out anytime soon. And I think I can use my money spent better elsewhere. So I'm not concerned about that. I don't really want to gig that. It would be nice if it was upgraded a little bit, but again, it's not a big deal. My biggest gripes, I think, come from this system. It is, I mean, the system works fine. I've not had any problems with it. My issues come, there's two things. One, when you use the navigation, you can't punch in an address while you're driving. Now, stop yelling at me. I hear you back there. Let me finish. So you can't punch in an address while you're driving. You have to come to a stop. And in my case, I have music on this thumb drive or whatever you want to call it. And so when you pull up the music on that, you know, you can listen to fast forward, skip ahead of songs and or go back of whichever artist or album you're on. But if you want to change an album that is on that drive, again, you have to come to a stop. Now here's why I'm frustrated with it. You can, as far as the navigation goes, like I said, it won't let you punch in an address or something, but I can go to Sirius XM radio and I can look up radio stations. Don't mind the puppy. So I can look up radio stations, and do that. So I really don't know what the difference is there. And as far as the music, you know, it won't let you search other artists or albums with on that drive, but I can pull out a CD case and put in a CD. I can look for CDs, I can do whatever, and I can fumble around with it that way, or I can mess with my phone and pull up iHeartRadio or any number of things that way. So to me, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's just a frustrating thing. It's not, you know, a huge issue, but, you know, I just don't understand why. No, I do understand why. I just wish it wasn't that way. Other than that, I love the climate control. I love the heated and cooled seats. Those are all good things. The other gig, I think, is this giant pillar. When you're changing lanes, trying to look back there and see if there's any cars back there, good luck. You definitely have to use the Bliss and the blind spot protection system, and you really have to be careful, especially at highway speeds, because as you all know, things can change in a heartbeat, and it's just not, you don't want to wreck because you don't see what's in the left lane. Oh, and one other gig I forgot. This piece back here. I would like to see them do something different. I think it's just plastic, but it picks up scratches like nobody's business. I don't want to try and brush too much off, but I try to touch it as little as possible because I'm afraid I'm going to continue to scratch it. There are some scratches in it already, which annoy me, but it is what it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I just wish they would do something a little different with that. But other than that, the car as a whole, I think, is a winner. And with the exception of those couple of minor things I mentioned, you know, I guess you either take it or leave it. I know that no car is perfect. No matter what make it is, there's going to be something that the owner would do differently. So, all right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, now for my other zonk is this right here. Okay, so I know they make aftermarket kits to make these hoods pop up. There should be no reason, especially when they already come with struts, there's no reason why when you hit the button to pop the trunk that it won't pop up on its own. I think give those struts a little bit more juice, and if that costs a few more pennies, then I think that's what they should do, because I just think that's just crazy. I mean, if you can pop the trunk remotely, there's no reason why it won't pop up all on its own. So that's kind of frustrating. I do like the sub in the trunk. That makes for nice sound. I don't even know if it's really a complaint. I like the design of the taillights. The thing I don't like about them are these recessed sections. These things are dust collectors. At least mine is anyway. And not necessarily frustrating, but it's just hard to keep clean. I mean, even if I go over it with a California duster, it still leaves stuff behind. You have to get in there with a microfiber and wipe it down, and it's just, I don't know. Other than that, I think that pretty much covers everything I had to say. I don't know, if you have anything you'd like to add to this, please leave it in the comments below. Maybe there's something I'm forgetting or overlooking, so I would appreciate your insight. And because I want to honor hitting the 20 subscribers mark, finally, thank you all. I appreciate everybody who has subscribed. I want to do a mod for you guys, and I think I'm gonna put the trunk struts in from the Steeda, the trunk pop kit from Steeda. I think that's going to be my deal. If I get to the 50 subscriber mark, I think we'll do the hood, and we'll just kind of go from there. I'll make them every, I don't know, maybe at 100 subscribers, and we'll just keep doubling. 200, 250, 500, I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But if there's anything you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments below. And make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. Even if you don't like it, please smash that like button, and make sure you share it with anybody that you may think has an interest. Again, thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you all in the next one.